Hello everyone and welcome back to Fish Den 365. Before we get started on today's video, I just want to thank everybody for watching and for all the participation. I'm closing in on 100 subscribers. At last count I was at 96, so thank you very much. Today we're going to be doing another unboxing of Tackle Warehouse. I've got my order plus the back ordered items, so it's a perfect timing to do the unboxing. Most of the items in this purchase are related to the cold water period that we are still in now. We are in mid-February and the lakes still have ice on them. It's unsafe ice, you can't walk on it. They're predicting a warm-up for the next few days, so I'm hoping that the ice will be off soon. As soon as it comes off, I hope to get out there back on the lakes again. So let's take a look at what we've got in this unboxing. So I already opened the box, we'll pull out the paperwork. Okay, and so first thing I have here is a Thill mini float. So this is a float that can be used for the float and fly technique. This is a slip float. Today you no longer have to have an 11-foot rod to use the float and fly because of the improvements that they've made in these floats. You can simply use a slip float and your fly, and that way you can get the bait down to where you need it to be with a standard 7-foot rod. So I hope to have a video about the float and fly sometime soon, either right after ice out, or if it doesn't happen right after ice out, it will probably have to wait until the cold water period of late fall again. So right along with the float that I just showed you, I have here some Siemantel Phat flies. So this is a Spro product. I'm going to open this up so you can get a better look at it. And so this is meant to be fished with the float and fly technique. So you can see here, this is a nice little tiny float and fly. I think these are probably about 1/8 of an ounce. Nope, 1/16 of an ounce. This one's a 1/16. I also have 1/8 ounce float and flies. So you just kind of have to balance it with the right size float, and that just takes a little bit of experimentation. But basically you have this fly set up on light line, 4 to 8 pound test max, and you use your slip float. You can set a slip on your line so that you can adjust the amount of line that is between your float and the bait. You might want it to be 8 to 12 feet down depending on conditions. And then this thing is just a really nice, subtle, finesse type of presentation. If you have a little waves or ripple on the water, that's all you need to give this thing action. These feathers will undulate with the slightest movement, no movement at all, really. And so they're very attractive to the bass that way. Checking the hook here, it's a good sharp hook. You can see I cannot slide it across my nail. That's always the number one thing to check when you get a bait. Make sure those hooks are sharp. So looking forward to using these, and I have a couple of different color patterns here. We'll show you this one too. So here's another pattern where we've got some nice gray, a little bit of flashaboo in there, and then the white belly. Perfect alewife or shad imitator here. A little baby shad, looks just like it. These are going to catch fish. Very happy with how they look. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So I have a number of Lucky Craft baits here. It's funny, they're in different boxes, but they're all the same type of bait. And this is a lipless crankbait called the LV500. I got 3 different colors. I'm going to pull each one out and show it to you. So the LV500, I have a ton of lipless crankbaits. I have every brand you could imagine, and even brands that aren't even known, because I like fishing lipless crankbaits. I think they're very versatile baits. When that bite is on, it could be one of the most fun bites because the hit, the strike is so powerful it could rip the rod right out of your hands, especially when it's smallmouth. So this is the profile. This is a 3/4 ounce bait, and it has a little bit of a different profile than a lot of other lipless crankbaits. And this one is Ghost Minnow. This is a really nice, natural-looking color, excellent for clear water. The thing about the LV500s is, as far as lipless crankbaits go, this is one of the best you can get. There's always some that rise to the top. This is one of the best ones, especially in the cold water period. Take a look at another one here. This one's called Ghost Threadfin Shad. Get this one out for you here. So you can see through part of it, and it's got that nice chartreuse line and a really nice black back with the blue. Another good shad type pattern here. And then lastly, this one's called Flake Golden Sunfish. So Flake Golden Sunfish. Let's get this one out of here if we can. And so this is obviously a bluegill type pattern. I really like that look. I'm going to catch fish on all these. These are all great baits. One thing I will do is I will change the hooks out on these. I will upgrade these to Gamakatsu EWGs. I'll probably put a number 4 on the front, and if I can get away with it, I'll put a number 4 on the back. If not, I'll put a number 6 on the back, just depending on size. What I don't want to have happen is the hooks actually tangling up with each other. That's no good. So we'll see how that works out when I change out the hooks. Great looking color on this bait, though. Very happy with these baits. Can't wait to fish these guys. And cold water period. By the way, these lipless crankbaits work all year round, but they work just as well in cold water as they do any other time of the year. It's one of the advantages of having a lipless crankbait. Okay, next two baits are new Rapala baits called Ripstops. Let me show you this bait. It's a little unusual, a little different. This one's a yellow perch, so you can see it has that yellow perch color. And here's the part that's different. If you look at the tail of this bait, you'll see this little piece that comes down and off the tail. And the idea here is that when you're jerking this bait along and then you stop it, or even if you're reeling it in, just retrieving it straight, and then you stop, it comes to a dead halt because this pushes water. And so this bait has a stopping characteristic that's different than the other Rapalas. I see it has a very small lip, so I'm a little concerned about how the action will be with that. I haven't tried these yet. I heard some good things about them. I wish they made a larger size. Perhaps they do, but I haven't seen it yet. So I will be experimenting with the Ripstop. This can be used for anything, trout, bass. It's a size that will work on nearly any kind of species. And Rapala always has nice patterns. And they say that you can't fish this wrong. In other words, there's no wrong retrieve. You can reel it straight in. You can use stop and go. You can jerk it like you would a jerk bait. That's probably what I'll do with it and see how it reacts and how it acts with that. It's just another one, but a different color. This one is called Elite Blue. I'll pull it out and show it to you. So there's the Elite Blue bait. You can see a nice blue back on it. It's got a little orange and silver sides. Good looking color. Another good alewife imitator here, which is the predominant bait fish in a lot of the places that I fish here in eastern Pennsylvania. Okay, next up we have some crankbaits that I've never fished before, but I've been looking forward to getting. And it's a company called 6 Cents, and this is called the Curve 55. I have 3 different colors here. So the first one is called Crackle Craw. Let me show that to you. I'm excited to try these baits out. I heard good things about them. I've seen videos with these baits where they're catching some nice fish. So this is Crackle Craw. It's got that orangish reddish belly and a bluish purpley top. Gold ribs. This bait here, this color is often good in very cold water as soon as the ice is out. It also seems to come with EWG hooks already on it. So I won't have to mess with these hooks. I can feel they're incredibly sharp. And that might be the first bait that I've gotten with these types of hooks on it. That's impressive. Looking forward to fishing these. I know they work from what I've read and what I've been seeing on the videos. The profile of the bait is a little bit like a wigglewort. The wigglewort bait is something that the old wiggleworts are known to be very good cold water bass baits, even though they have a wide wobble and a really strong vibration. For some reason, cold water fish like them. And the new wiggleworts are a different mold. They're not quite the same as the old ones from what I understand. But this bait, from what I hear, is a good replacement and it works real well. So I'm looking forward to experimenting with this and seeing how it works. Going to show the other 2 that I got. We'll show those colors to you. They're a little similar to each other. This one's called Olive Crawfish. So obviously I bought this because it really does look like a crayfish color. And I think this could be a real good color in the water. It's got the lighter belly and the olive color and the dark back. Very nice look to it. And then lastly, this one is called Ghost Brown Craw. So let's take a look at ghost brown craw here. So this being a ghost color, sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. It's a bit clear. You can almost see through it a little bit. And it's got this brownish craw type pattern. Another really nice color here. So all these lures, all three of these baits, I'm excited to fish. I know they'll catch the fish. Another item I have in here are the actual bobber or sinker stops. So this is what I'll be using as a stop for when I fish the float and fly. Forgot to show that to you. And I've got one last lure in here, not so much related to the cold water period, but for when it gets a little warmer. This is a river to sea S-waver, 168. 168 is actually the measure of the lure. It's 168 millimeters long, basically 6 inches. And we'll open this up and show it to you. The color on this one is called Warden. And I really like this Warden color. I have another one of these baits that I bought a little while ago, a different color. This color really looks like a shad or alewife, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that back and lighter sides. This thing is going to catch fish. Now the thing about this lure is it's a good fish catcher. It's known, the S-waver is known to be one of the better fish catchers. And, you know, I spend a lot of time doing research on the lures that I intend to buy to make sure that they're the right lures that I want to buy. I'm not going to buy lures that will not be effective, unless I'm experimenting, obviously. But this lure here, I've heard a lot of great things about. And the thing about the S-waver is that it'll catch plenty of fish all on its own, but there's another reason to throw this, and that is oftentimes fish are curious about this. It has a very different action. It actually goes this way. It has this, that's why they call it an S-waver. It has this very different type of action to it. When the ice comes off the water, we'll throw one out there in video for you so you can see how it looks. And a lot of times the fish will follow it, bass will follow it. So how do you use that to your advantage? Well, let's say I'm on a lake that may be a bit unfamiliar to me and I want to find fish quickly. So the first thing, one of the approaches you might take is just to look at all of the points on the lake and just quickly fish those points. So you can throw something like this, and if you start getting followers, then you immediately know if there's fish on those points or not. And even though you might not catch the fish on this, you could use it to help find the fish. And then along with that, you can change up baits so that you can start fine-tuning your presentation to catch fish. So it can be used two ways, to catch fish, but then also as a search bait for finding fish. Really nice bait here. I like the color of this a lot. Looking forward to using it. So you may be wondering, why all these different lures? If I already have lures that work, why am I always looking for something new or something additional or a new color? Well, the truth of the matter is, in bass fishing, fish get conditioned to lures. And so over time, a lure will lose its effectiveness. It just won't catch as many fish as it once did. And so that's why it's important to always try and be looking for new ideas, new lure concepts, something the fish haven't seen yet. Now, there are some baits out there that have such a natural profile that they always catch fish, like a Senko or a tube, for example. But even there, fish do get conditioned to them. It's just that they look so natural that they will continue to catch fish. But they won't catch fish the same way they did when they first came out and they were brand new. When some of these lures first hit the market and the fish haven't seen them yet and they see them for the first time, they can be incredibly effective. And so that's why it's a good idea to have some new items now and then, or to sometimes what I like to do is I will use a lure that hasn't been used in many years because it's just fell out of favor, but it can still be a very effective fish catcher. And you could have generations of bass that haven't really seen it. In fact, I will be doing an upcoming video about the top 5 topwater lures that are at least 40 years old. So stay tuned for that one in the near future. Well, folks, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the unboxing of Tackle Warehouse items as I went through them, and hopefully gave you some information that will be helpful for you and your fishing. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and may God bless your fishing endeavors. We'll see you soon.